So in today's lecture, we are going to talk about the reactivity series, what reactivity series is, on what basis this reactivity series was designed, what are included in the reactivity series, and on what basis these elements, which are metals, are arranged in the reactivity series. So basically, reactivity series is a series of the metals which are being arranged according to the reactivity. So we have given the name reactivity series to this list of the metals. Why we have given the name reactivity series to it? Because this is based on the reactions or the tendency of the metals to react with hydrogen, cold water, steam, and hydrochloric acid. So this reactivity series, metals are arranged from the most reactive to the least reactive metals. And how is the order of the reactivity of the metals decided and determined? That was the tendency of the metals to react with cold water, steam, and the reaction of these metals with the dilute hydrochloric acid. So those metals which are present at the top of the reactivity series are the one which are very much reactive. They are that reactive that they show very vigorous and explosive reaction towards cold water. And the one which are present towards the bottom of the reactivity series are those which show very mild reaction, or sometimes they do not react. They are unreactive towards acids, towards cold water, or even towards steam. I have already dictated you the reactivity series, but now we are going to look deeply into the series that what type of the products these metals are forming if they are reacting with the steam, with the cold water, and with dilute hydrochloric acid. So first of all, I'm going to read this slide for you for the better understanding. The chemistry of the metals is studied by analyzing their reaction with the water, dilute acid, and oxygen. And I would like to mention here with the water means with hot water and with the cold water both. Based on this reaction, a reactivity series of the metals can be produced. So now you know that how the reactivity series was designed on the basis of their reaction with water, dilute acid, and oxygen. The series can be used to place a group of the metals in the order of the reactivity based on the observation of their reaction with water, acid, and oxygen. Almost the same thing they have repeated, but in a different way, like the metals are designed or placed in the reactivity series on the observation of their reaction towards water, acid, and oxygen. This is their general reaction or their tendency to react with the water, like with the cold water, hot water, acid, and oxygen. So generally, potassium, sodium, and the calcium are the most reactive metals. So they react with the water very violently, quickly, and strongly. So I'm not going to mention here whether it's steam or it's cold water. In the further till the end of the lecture, you will come to know that whether all these are going to show violent or strong or quick reaction with cold water, or they show different behavior towards cold or the hot water. Moving further from potassium to iron, these are showing very vigorous and strong reaction towards acids. So what are the products which are formed? We are going to discuss further in the lecture. Reaction with the oxygen. So all these are going to react with the oxygen, but the only difference is potassium, sodium, calcium, and magnesium react readily, vigorously, quickly, while from zinc to copper, they react normally, like, yes, they do react in form oxide, but the reactions are not very quick and vigorous and readily. Don't react readily. And from lead onward, they do not show any reaction. So these are the from magnesium onward till the end of the series, they do not react with water. From hydrogen onward, they do not react with the acid, and from lead onward, they do not react with the oxygen. So let's see what type of the products they form. So in this case, as you can see, they form different products with the cold water and with the hot water. Some metals react with the water either in the cold or in the warm form or with the steam. So the products forming are completely different. The metals which react with the cold water form metal hydroxide. You can note down that in your notebook, that metals reacting with the cold water will produce metal hydroxide, hydrogen gas. For example, calcium, potassium, sodium, and calcium. They are reacting vigorously with the cold water. They do not, we cannot take a risk to make them react with the steam or with the hot water. So they are reacting till magnesium, potassium, sodium, calcium, and magnesium. These are the four metals which react with the cold water and forming the product hydroxide and hydrogen gas. So the main thing to memorize or to understand in this is the names of the products which are formed with the cold water. These are metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas, and the names of the metals which react with the cold water. So potassium till magnesium, they are reacting with the cold water, and from zinc onward, they do not react with the cold water. So if you remember the reactivity series, you know that in the reactivity series, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, and then further from aluminium, even aluminium reacts with the cold water. So aluminium till platinum, they do not react with the cold water. We need to make them react with the steam or hot water or warm water. So the products formed in case of the reaction of potassium till magnesium is their hydroxide and hydrogen, and from aluminium till platinum is their oxides and hydrogen. So these are the reactions of the metals with the cold water. Their tendency from aluminium onward, they do not react with the cold water. If we want to make them react with the water, we need to use steam or hot water. So in that case, they will form metal oxide and hydrogen gas. Right? So from potassium to magnesium, or you can say, from potassium to magnesium or potassium to calcium, the reaction with the steam is so aggressive and explosive that we shouldn't carry that reaction in the laboratory without any precautions. So, but in case of magnesium, as it is the fourth metal of the periodic table, it shows a violent reaction with the steam. So the reaction is controllable, but even when the reaction occurs, magnesium produces magnesium oxide and hydrogen gas. The reaction is highly exothermic, and a bright white glow is produced during the reaction because magnesium starts burning. So hot magnesium reacts violently with steam to form magnesium oxide, which is a white solid, and hydrogen gas. A bright white glow is produced during the reaction due to the formation, due to the burning of magnesium metal. Then with the steam from zinc onward, like iron, magnesium, zinc, and iron, they form metal oxide and hydrogen gas. And from lead onward, lead, copper, yes, from lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, gold, and platinum, they do not react with the cold water or steam, not even with the cold water, neither with the steam. So I'm repeating this for you guys. If you want to know the reaction of the metals, so we need to memorize the reactivity series first. From potassium till calcium and magnesium, the first four metals in the reactivity series show very violent reaction towards cold water, and the product formed is their hydroxides, metal hydroxides, and hydrogen gas. From onward, zinc till iron, magnesium, zinc, iron, they do react with the steam, but for magnesium, the reaction is very violent. So a bright glow of magnesium oxide, which is a white solid, is observed. And for zinc and iron, their oxides are formed along with the production of hydrogen gas. But from lead onward till the end, there is no reaction either with the cold water or with the steam. So if we want to see the products for the reaction of the metals in the reactivity towards acids, we are very much familiar because we have already studied that in the previous topics, that whenever the metals react with the acids, they form salt and hydrogen gas. So what is the tendency of these metals towards acids? So talking about the reactivity series, from potassium till iron, they tend to react with the acid to produce their respective salts, like chlorides or sulfates, depending upon the type of the acid which you are using. Like if you are using hydrochloric acid, then the chlorides are formed. If you are using sulfuric acid, then the sulfates are formed along with the production of hydrogen gas. But from lead onward till the end, there is no reaction of the metals towards the acid, as we were discussing acid, bases and salts, and I explained you there that some of the metals like copper, silver, iron, platinum, gold and mercury, they do not react with the acids, but lead tend to or appear to react, but further the reaction slows down and stops because of the formation of the insoluble layer of the lead chloride and lead sulfate. So same concept we are going to use here and revise, that the metals from potassium till iron, they are reacting with the acids such as HCl. When acids and the metals react, the hydrogen atom in the acid is replaced by the metal atoms to produce salt and hydrogen gas. So overall what you need to memorize is iron react with the acids to form salt and hydrogen gas. So this salt completely depends upon the type of the acid you are using. If you are using hydrochloric acid, the chlorides of the metals are formed. If you are using sulfuric acid, the sulfate of the metal is formed. If you are using nitric acid, then nitrate of the metal is formed. So moving further, the reaction towards oxygen is, there are certain metals which are very unreactive towards oxygen, like gold and copper. They do not react with the acids. Some very reactive metals such as the alkali metals react with oxygen, like copper and iron can also react with oxygen, and that process of reaction of the metals with oxygen is called as rusting or corrosion, where you form the formation of a very brownish layer of oxide, sometimes the iron and the copper, to that corrodes the metal and weakens it, and the metal flakes away. So when metal react with oxygen, a metal oxide is formed that makes the metal weak, and that process is called as rusting. So copper reacting with oxygen form copper oxide, and iron reacts to form iron oxide. So this was how the reactivity series was designed, based on the reaction with the water, either in the cold or in the warm state. Then we study the reaction of the metals with the acids to form salt and hydrogen gas. And then we study their reaction with the oxygen, which is also called as rusting or corrosion, and how it weakens the metal. Yeah. Getting okay. So to review the whole lecture, today we discussed about the reactivity series, in which we saw which metals we are going to discuss in the reactivity series, how are they arranged, with which elements or the compounds they reacted, and we arranged them in a series to study, to make their study easier. So in the reactivity series, we know that it starts from potassium and then further moves to potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, aurum, and which is aurum is gold, and platinum. So the one which are present at the bottom of the reactivity series are the unreactive metals. The one which are present at the top of the reactivity series are most reactive, and we saw how we arrange these metals on the basis of their reaction with water, acid and oxygen. And this is a general summary where we saw that potassium, sodium, calcium react strongly, magnesium react violently with the steam, but strongly with the cold water. And then we saw that how these metals react towards acid and what products do they form. And then we saw that which metals do not react with the oxygen, like below copper they do not react with oxygen, but above that they do react, and the process is called as corrosion. And then we saw their products. With the cold water they form metal hydroxide, with steam they form metal oxide, and with the acids they form salt and hydrogen gas, and they form their oxides. So this was the all about we discussed today. If you have any question, you can ask me.